Half the Sky, Turning Oppression into Opportunity for Women Worldwide. Education for women is the best form of empowerment. It increases their self-worth, teaching them that they are worth fighting for and can stand up for themselves. They are competent and strong and capable of supporting a household. Their husbands also respect them more because they can help bring money into the home. Surveys suggest that about one-third of all women worldwide face beatings in the home. Women ages 15 through 44 are more likely to be maimed or die from male violence than from cancer, malaria, traffic accidents, and war combined. In some countries, women are punished for simply sharing opinions or for small mistakes, and they receive punishment without complaint because it is social norm. The tools to crush modern slavery exist, but political will is lacking. Most human trafficking victims are impoverished women from small villages and are seen as an easy target. The promise of money for their families is enough to make them travel to big cities where they are almost always sexually exploited. Most women in the sex industry did not enter the industry by choice, but for reasons out of their control. They stay because they have few other options and usually no education. When women do escape the brothels, they often return willingly to feed drug dependencies. The brothel owners initially force on them, and they have nowhere else to turn for the help they need. Women die in childbirth because there is little to no health care available, and men would rather take their sons to the physician than their daughters or wives. This stresses why it is so important to educate women. If they have an education, they are more likely to seek medical help when they are pregnant and are less likely to have dozens of children. What's sad is that people don't say, "Why'd he rape you?" They say, "Why'd you go there? Why'd you let your guard down? You should have been more careful." That's what's wrong with society. Honor rape is when someone rapes a woman because it decreases her perceived worth as a person. In most Eastern countries, the weight placed on sexual honor is one of the main reasons for violence towards women. Rape is often seen as an easy way to punish a family because, unlike with murder, it leaves no corpse, and the victims are often shamed into committing suicide to spare their family the shame. Ethiopian law specifically states that a man cannot be prosecuted for raping a woman he later marries. This is often used as a way to obtain a desirable wife. If he cannot pay her bride price, he can kidnap and rape her to give himself bargaining leverage. No one wants a ruined bride, so he is likely to be the only one who will marry her. Behind the rapes and other abuse heaped on women in much of the world, it's hard not to see something more sinister than just libido and prurient opportunism, namely sexism and misogyny. How else to explain why so many more witches were burned than wizards? Why is acid thrown in women's faces but not in men's? Why are women so much more likely to be stripped naked and sexually humiliated than men? Why is it that in many cultures old men are respected as patriarchs, while old women are taken outside the village to die of thirst or to be eaten by wild animals? Granted, in the societies where these abuses take place, women also suffer more violence than males do in America, but the brutality inflicted on women is particularly widespread, cruel, and lethal. A man goes out on the beach and sees that it is covered with starfish that have washed up in the tide. A little boy is walking along, picking them up and throwing them back into the water. "What are you doing, son?" the man asks. "You see how many starfish there are? You'll never make a difference." The boy paused thoughtfully and picked up another starfish and threw it back into the ocean. "It sure made a difference to that one," he said. Even when a social problem is so vast as to be insoluble in its entirety, it's still worth mitigating.